Hello students, today we will be discussing about the a very important topic of class 10, third chapter, metals and non-metals. This is the introductory video, class video of the metals and non-metals. So different video will be uploaded in my YouTube channel. Please go through it. So first, third chapter of the class 10, that is the metals and non-metals, I am going to start here. Now, actually you know that about the metals and non-metals in class 8 also you have read some part. Now, if we consider that what are metals, what are non-metals and metalloids. In class 8, you have read about the metal means those are the substances which are produces ringing sound on hammering with substance. But in this class, you have to know the chemical definition of metals, non-metals and metalloids. According to this, those substances which can release electron, they are known as the metals. Just like you know the sodium, in class 9 also you have read this one, sodium, they will lose their electron from the valence shell and they will just form this Na+. So sodium is a metal, means according to this definition, those substances which can lose their electrons to form the positive, monopositive, dipositive, tripositive ion, they are known as the metals. Non-metals, those substances which can accept their electron, they are known as the non-metals. Just like see chlorine, it will accept one electron to form the Cl-. So specifically we can say that non-metals are those substances which can accept electron to form the negative anion. And metalloids, actually the substances which have the properties intermediate between the metals and non-metals, they are known as the metalloids. Now see example of metalloids: arsenic, antimony, then here the silicon. These are the example of metalloids. Now if we consider the physical and chemical properties of first point we have to read here, or the first thing of this chapter you have to read, physical and chemical properties of the metals. So first thing I am just explaining here, you just listen these things and you will be able to understand because you have read these things in class 8 also. Actually, metals are sonorous. Metals are sonorous, what does it mean? Means they produces a ringing sound when they are beaten with a substance, beaten with a hammer. And non-metals, they are the non-sonorous. Okay. Next point of the physical and physical properties of the metals, it's coming here, that the metals are malleable. Malleable means they can be beaten into a thin sheets. You have seen that the beautiful packaging of the food by the aluminium foil, and this aluminium foil is made by beating the aluminium metal with the hammer. And non-metals are non-malleable. They are breakable. Generally they are considered as the brittle. Brittle means breakable, means easily they will be break if they are hammered with a substance. Now metals are good conductor of electricity and non-metals are poor conductor of electricity. Actually in the metal there are 3 electrons which can move from one place to another place. That's why the metals are actually metals are conductor of electricity, but non-metals are poor conductor of electricity. But there is one non-metal which is a good conductor of electricity, that is graphite. And also one metal is there which is a poor conductor of electricity, that is the tungsten. Now what will happen, you know, if we consider the next property of the metals, metals are ductile. Ductile means they can be stretchable, and they are stretchable they can be drawn into a thin sheet of wire. They are known as the, that's why this is known as the ductile. And non-metals, these non-metals are non-ductile. Non-ductile means they can be beaten into a, sorry, if they are stretched, they can break down. And among the metals, silver is the best ductile metal. And metal is a good conductor of heat, non-metal is a non-conductor of heat. And metals are lustrous. What does it mean? Metals are lustrous. Metals are lustrous, it means that they give the shiny appearance as they in their pure state. You know that the gold is a metal which gives a shiny appearance, which is actually beautifully attracted by the people, so that most of the jewelry are made up of the gold and the silver, because they have the property of lustrous. And non-metals are non-lustrous, means they do not give any shiny appearance in their pure state. But one of the non-metal is there, iodine, which can give a shiny appearance in their pure state. Now again see that the metals have the high tensile strength, means they can hold a heavy load, but non-metals cannot hold a heavy load, means they have less tensile strength. So these are the physical properties of the metals and non-metals we have said. Now if we move to the chemical properties of the metals and non-metals, so first thing you have to read that the reaction of metal with oxygen. Reaction of metal with oxygen. Generally, you know that the metal form basic oxide when it react with oxygen. That means see, magnesium is a metal, if it react with oxygen it will form a magnesium oxide, and the Na2O means it will be formed when sodium react with oxygen, sodium monoxide. Now you know that the magnesium and sodium are metals, they form the basic oxides. Now again see, if we consider here the non-metal, they form acidic oxides when it react with the oxygen. Generally nitrogen is a non-metal, it react with the oxygen to form the nitrogen dioxide, and sulfur, it react with the oxygen to form the sulfur dioxide. Here one thing I am just explaining, that the why magnesium oxide, sodium monoxide, these are called the basic oxides. You have read these things, that the magnesium oxide, if it dissolve with the water, then it will form a magnesium hydroxide, which is a basic in nature, so that the magnesium oxide is an basic oxides. Did you understand this one? I think you have understood that the magnesium oxide acid from the alkaline solution, this is known as the basic oxide. Sodium monoxide also, if it forms the alkaline solution, it will form the it will be known as the basic oxide. Similarly, nitrogen dioxide is an acidic oxide, because if it react with the water it will form nitric acid, sulfur dioxide, it will form the sulfurous acid. So as these are forming the acidic solution, so that these are known as the acidic oxides. So what I have said, that the metal form basic oxides when it react with the oxygen, non-metal forms acidic oxide when it react with the oxygen. Now some of the metals are there, like the zinc and the aluminium, they form amphoteric oxide with the water. Amphoteric means they show both acidic and basic behavior. Zinc oxide and aluminium oxide is an example. Now some of the non-metals, they react with the oxygen to form the neutral oxide. Not all the non-metal form the acidic oxide. Just like you know, hydrogen is a non-metal, if it react with the oxygen it will form the water, and it will be a but it's a neutral oxide. And carbon monoxide also, it is a neutral oxide, and nitric oxide also is a neutral oxide. So these are the things that the metal react with the oxygen to form the basic oxide, and non-metal form acidic oxides. So once again I am just repeating the definition of the basic oxides. Basic oxides are those oxides which on dissolving in water produces basic solution, and acidic oxides, those who are produces the acidic solution, is known as the acidic oxides. So in this video, up to this, And in the next video, we will be continuing the reaction with the water, acid, reaction of metal with the water, acid, etc., displacement reaction, and all. And after that, the ionic compound formation also will be discussed in different video. So I hope that this video will help you to understand the introductory part of the metals and non-metals. That's all. Thank you.